Come all ye pretty fair maids, whoever you may be, love a jolly sailor bold, that clouds a raging sea. My heart is pierced by Cupid, how to stain all glittering gold. There is nothing can consume me but my jolly sailor bold. Hello and welcome. We are continuing. We're almost through our pirates, but we are on our fourth of the 5th films today, and we are going to be talking about Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides was released in 2011. It's our 4th film out of the 5 films that they have done. And this is the first one without Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, and I never saw it beforehand. I saw the first 3 in theaters, but this one I didn't think it would need it. I didn't know how deep the story was, and I thought that they were just trying to milk everything out originally. So I never saw it until now. And I'm wrong. They actually made a fantastic story and continued the adventures of Captain Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp is still amazing. And they have a lot of the same cast in here again besides Johnny Depp. And now it makes sense going back and rewatching because Elizabeth and Will's story is finished for the time being, and Jack is still free, and Jack goes and he's able to continue on his adventures. And we also have Penelope Cruz, who plays Angelica.
Only one person alive knows that move. Always wanted to do that. Hello, Angelica.
Hello, Jack. Are you impressed?
Who is Blackbeard's daughter, and this is all about him and Blackbeard and them finding the Fountain of Youth. In the last film, we were reintroduced to Keith Richards as Captain Jack Sparrow's father, and he makes his appearance in this one as well, so I think it's like a nice running joke that they've continued on with this track. So it's a really cool little cameo they did.
Don't be a fool, Jackie. The fountain will test you.
And besides our adventure with Blackbeard, we also have mermaids, and I love mermaids, so it was nice to see him. And I like that they are the sirens of the sea and how they are really vicious and they were looked at as a villain. I like that side of them because you think of Ariel and you think of cute little mermaids that do nothing but swim around all day and sing.
That's all. We were only trying to drown her.
But in the meantime, they were legitly created to be man-eating creatures. The really cool thing too is that we do have a little love story between one of our mermaids and the preacher boy of the ship, Philip. He is on Blackbeard's ship to try to save his soul. Angelica wants to try to save Blackbeard's soul because Blackbeard's just a menacing evil creature, and he's on trying to preach the word of God, but he ends up falling in love with this mermaid and they go off together, and that honestly was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Forgiveness. If not for me, you would never have been captured.
Ask.
Forgive me.
And compared to the other 3 films, where by the 2nd and the 3rd film, I talked about where we've had the 1st third, 2nd third, 3rd third, and it kind of was a different adventure that was all over the place and then ended up connecting at the end. This one's different. This one is pretty seamless, and the point A travels to point B, and there's not really going to point C and before coming back to point D and then coming back to point A. Like, it's none of that the old films had. So it was a nice fresh take on it, and it was a nice new adventure and you got a lot out of it. It was still very, very enjoyable, and I've taken back that I thought this was not needed because it really was well done. Every single film has been excellent and I've really enjoyed watching it and the story progress, and it's nice because it leads you in the 5th one getting excited to see what happens. And the nice thing too is that there's all these twists and turns within this film that you think something's gonna happen and it doesn't happen, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. So they do an amazing job. Going back to the attraction, because I mentioned how obviously we know it's based on our attraction, but with every single film they update the ride now to go along with it. So when you're entering in and before you go down the waterfall into the attraction, you go through and you see Blackbeard now through the mist and fog.
Ah, but they do tell tales. So says I, Blackbeard.
And you have the mermaids on the ground basically swimming underneath you, and you have the mermaids dead on land, and it's really cool. These little minor details that they put into it, they do so much justice, so much hard work, and it pays off amazingly. Tomorrow we're gonna take a look and wrap up our Pirates films with our last film, the most recent one, Dead Man Tell No Tales. So you can stay tuned, and as always I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.